Saki mbwembwe na kwele mchele kwa kuku kumwaga. Sako na wapenda yatusema nitasikia.
Hello, Unite Scholars. My name's Pete Gardner, and I'm a pilot at a major airline. Recently, Lila Wells contacted me and asked me if I would discuss my career in aviation and how I got there. For me, unlike a lot of people that get into aviation, it was not a dream of mine from childhood. Honestly, I never even considered being a pilot. It wasn't until I was getting ready to get out of college, and I didn't really know exactly what I was going to get into. I was an economics major, and I kind of felt like I was going to go work with my father, who was in financial planning. But before I did that, I wanted to serve my country. So I went to the local recruiter and spoke with them a little bit. It was a Marine Corps recruiter. Spoke to them for a while, and they told me about a program called the Guaranteed Aviation Program. I thought about it for about 3 minutes, tops, and decided I would try for that. I figured that was a better route to go versus digging ditches and hiking with a pack on my back. So I just thought it would be a fun adventure and a good challenge. So I went with it. I graduated college. I went off and did all the prerequisites for the Marine Corps, officer candidate school, the basic school, and then I finally got to go to flight school. I was in Pensacola, Florida for flight school. I did that for about a year and a half. And from there, I ended up going to California, and I was flying helicopters. I flew the helicopters for about 6 years in the Marine Corps, and then I got out. When I got out, I wasn't really sure whether I was going to go work for my father or maybe give civil aviation a try. I enjoyed flying, but part of the problem was that I had mostly helicopter time, and that doesn't translate too well to the airlines. I figured, why not at least try to get a position with an airline, a small commuter airline, and give it a try for a little while, and if I didn't like it, I can always go work in maybe something closer to like what my father did. So I applied, like I said, to some commuters. I got hired by a small commuter and started doing that and flying Beech 1900s, which is a small turboprop. I've got to say, where I am now is fantastic, and I am so grateful that I am at this airline. I absolutely love my job. I love where I work. I love the people I work with. I get to fly a 737, both 700 series and 800 series. So I can have as many as 175 passengers behind me. It's a truly rewarding job. I love taking people on vacation to see family. I love to see all the smiling faces. It's wonderful. We have the occasional first-time flyer. That's always fun. Bring them up to the cockpit and show them around a little. Okay, now, for all of you that are truly interested in aviation and think that that is the direction you want to go in, go for it. I highly recommend it. Don't let anyone tell you you're not right for aviation or that you won't be able to make it. Back when I was in the Marine Corps, the big joke we all had was how everyone had a different major in college. And we had everything from English majors, history majors, political science majors, to engineers, mechanical, electrical engineers. We had, what else? Just anything you can imagine. But when it came right down to it, we were all pilots. So no matter what your background is to this date, it's not important. If aviation is something you're interested in and you have a passion for, you will get through the program, no problem. Just have to have a little, you'll get a little science with some aerodynamics, some meteorology, a little bit of math. all very relatively basic. It's just a lot of information, but you take the time, and when you truly love what you're doing, it's easy to study. I will be honest with you, I was not the greatest student growing up, but I remember being in flight school, and the first book they gave us was about jet engines and how they work. I couldn't stop reading it, and believe me, I've never had that problem before. I actually called my parents at home and said, you know what, I've truly found my passion. I love this stuff. So if that's what you really want to do and you think it would be exciting, I would go for it, and just don't look back and don't listen to any naysayers. One last thing that I want to add, there are a number of different ways to get to where I am today, and they don't all include the military. That's not necessarily the right decision for everyone, and there are a number of different ways. These days there's a lot more schools popping up, universities that have aviation programs, or you can go out on your own to the local airport and find a flight instructor and have him train you and get all the different qualifications you need to get to a commercial aviation pilot rating. But again, it's a little bit of a long road, a little challenging along the way, but I don't regret a minute of it, and I'm so happy with what I've chosen. I love my job. So good luck to all of you, and I wish you all the best.
Nanipaga moyo nikianza kulia chozi nafutia.